The movie kicks off with a tense scene at the harbor, where CIA agents and American Special Forces engage in a shootout. They are conducting an operation to search for bombs and illegal weapons smuggled by a terrorist group, which will be used to detonate the city of Washington, D.C. Leading the operation is CIA agent Jenny. After a fierce battle, they subdue the terrorist group. However, upon opening the container, they find it empty. Perplexed, Jenny interrogates a suspected terrorist, but he denies any knowledge of the smuggling operation she mentioned. Meanwhile, a convoy of cars speeds toward the airport. Inside one car, CIA Chief Mike is in conversation with Nisa, the wife of the suspected terrorist Amin Mansur, who is a British citizen of Arab descent. Mike urges Nisa to convince her husband to disclose information about the smuggled goods. However, Nisa is at a loss for words, having been separated from her husband for several months. Meanwhile, Amin has already been arrested and will soon be picked up at the airport. Upon reaching the airport, they await the arrival of Amin Mansur. Mike is welcomed by Jenny, who has ensured the airport's security. Jenny offers to handle other tasks, but Mike assigns her to accompany Nisa instead. Jenny is puzzled, as she usually tackles more challenging assignments. Shortly after, Amin arrives, escorted by Jake, a member of the Special Forces in the United States known for his exceptional skills. Furthermore, Jake successfully neutralizes all the terrorist members and safely escorts Amin. Amin, upon seeing his wife Nisa, approaches her with guilt and apologizes. However, Nisa, filled with anger and disappointment due to Amin's actions, declares that their family is ruined. She reveals that she is 4 months pregnant with Amin's child and demands to know the location of the hidden bomb. Despite Nisa's pleas, Amin remains silent, driven by the desire for revenge for the death of their firstborn son. In the past, Amin was a good person from Iraq living in England, and his family were wrongfully accused of terrorism and attacked by American soldiers during his brother's wedding in Washington, D.C., resulting in the death of their son. He then vowed to seek revenge and destroy the city of Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Jake contacts his wife via video call, reassuring her of his safety. However, his attention is drawn to suspicious individuals downstairs. He ends the call and follows them, discovering that they are mercenaries planning to capture Amin. Jake swiftly attacks them, but realizing their strength in numbers, he decides to flee with Amin and Isa. In the chaos, several CIA agents lose their lives, but Jake manages to get Amin and his wife into a car. With all communication networks hijacked by the mercenaries, Jake is unable to contact anyone. He remains unaware of who is funding the mercenaries, but recognizes their high level of training. Additionally, the group of mercenaries continues to pursue Jake's car until they eventually block the road. With no other option, Jake has to return to the airport to protect Amin and Isa. Inside, Amin asks Jake if they are after him or Jake himself. Jake assures him that they are targeting Amin, not him. They decide to split up, with Jake planning to eliminate the mercenaries while Amin must protect Isa. Soon after, one of the mercenaries finds Amin and Isa. Just as the mercenary is about to take Amin away, Jake arrives and takes out the mercenary. Jake realizes that the mercenaries want Amin alive, likely because of the bomb he possesses. He tries to force Amin to reveal the bomb's location, but Amin refuses, fearing Jake won't protect him if he does. Amin promises to disclose the bomb's whereabouts if Jake ensures their safe escape. Jake agrees and immediately puts bulletproof vests on Amin and Isa. After that, they flee to the upper floor. Meanwhile, in another room, the mercenary leader named Jackson is coordinating with his 2 top men, Dunbar and Ward. Jackson instructs them to capture Amin Mansur before midnight alive. He needs Amin's cooperation to locate the bomb and to make a video statement. Shortly after, Jackson's henchmen hack the CCTV and locate Jake, who's escorting Amin and Isa to the 5th floor. Jackson then orders Ward and Dunbar to capture them. At the same time, Jake manages to bring them to the 5th floor, knowing that CIA Chief Mike and his team are waiting on the 7th floor. But to get there, Jake had to face the mercenaries who had found them again. After engaging in a fierce battle, Jake eventually managed to bring Emin and Nyssa to the 7th floor, where Mike questions Jake about the mercenaries' intentions. Jake doesn't have all the details but assumes they want Emin alive. After that, Jake invited Emin to have a conversation. Jake urges Emin to reveal the bomb's location, promising protection and legal immunity. Hearing this, Emin asked for time to reflect on his own. On the flip side, Nyssa tends to Jenny's injuries, revealing her past as a doctor. She then approaches Emin, urging him to disclose the bomb's location before the mercenaries find it. Meanwhile, Jenny asks Jake if Emin has revealed the bomb's whereabouts. Jake then explains their agreement that Emin will disclose the location once they're safe. Jake shows a phone he got from the mercenaries, revealing they're called Team Fibridge from Virginia, aiming to capture Emin alive. However, their leader remains unknown. At the same time, Mike called Emin and asked him to listen to the recording of a woman's voice on his laptop. When Emin listened carefully, it turned out that the woman's voice was exactly the same as the woman who incited Emin to bomb Washington, D.C. Emin also realized that the voice was Jenny's voice. Upon hearing that, Mike swiftly aimed his gun at Jenny, demanding she confess if she orchestrated everything. Jenny denied it, arguing that many people worldwide have similar voices. Suddenly, they faced another attack from Jackson's henchmen, triggering a shootout. Emin attempted to flee with his wife, but he was caught while Nyssa escaped downstairs. Witnessing Emin's capture, Jake rushed to save him, battling Dunbar. Unfortunately, Jake was already exhausted, so he was defeated by Dunbar. At the same time, Ward captured Mike, and Jenny executed him, confirming Mike's earlier accusation that she was the mastermind behind the attack, and Jenny also hiring Jackson's team to capture Emin to steal the bomb for her own purposes. However, Jenny still didn't know where Emin was hiding the bomb, so she had to capture Emin alive. They took him in for interrogation, torturing him to reveal the bomb's whereabouts. Despite the torture, Emin refused to divulge, prompting Jenny to order her henchmen to capture Nyssa, believing torturing her would make Emin talk. In a hurry, Jenny's henchmen rushed downstairs to find Nyssa. Meanwhile, Jake was back on his feet, swiftly taking down one of Jenny's henchmen searching for Nyssa. Then he encountered another henchman who had captured Nyssa, leading to another confrontation. Eventually, Jake defeated him and disguised himself in the mercenary uniform to blend in, pretending he had captured Nyssa. With this tactic, Jake could move freely, entering the room pretending to hand over Nyssa. At that moment, Jenny hadn't realized it was Jake yet, so she immediately threatened Emin, coercing him to reveal the bomb's location. Emin confessed it was in container number 90. Jenny then instructed her henchmen to inform Jackson to secure the bomb. Afterward, Jenny cleaned Emin's face and forced him to make a threatening video to the American government, threatening to detonate the bomb. Emin initially refused, but Jenny threatened Nyss's life, so Emin reluctantly complied and read the letter as instructed. The letter declared Emin was seeking revenge in Washington, D.C., and demanded $500 million to spare the city. After recording it, Jenny immediately killed Emin and went to meet Jackson to retrieve the bomb. She framed Emin to extort the government, planning to get the money and the bomb. Disguised as a henchman, Jake was shocked to learn Jenny was behind it all. He eliminated Jenny's henchmen and asked Nyssa to wait while he stopped Jenny and Jackson. Initially, Jake's disguise fooled Jackson's henchmen, but Dunbar discovered him on the train, leading to a fight. Realizing that Dunbar and his men was too strong, Jake lured them to a warehouse. Inside the warehouse, Jake stealthily moved to eliminate them all. After successfully eliminating all of Jackson's henchmen, Jake immediately stopped Jenny. Meanwhile, Jackson was seen moving the container with Emin's bomb to the airstrip. He planned to board the plane with the bomb, leaving Washington, D.C. Jenny would wait on the plane, considering her mission accomplished. Jenny also restored the network she hijacked to contact someone. At the same time, Jake had arrived and was secretly trailing Jackson. He also realized that the signal had returned, so he immediately contacted his superior at the FBI for assistance. Suddenly, one of Jackson's henchmen appeared, but Jake took him down. After that, Jake attacked the rest of Jackson's henchmen. After defeating them all, Jake faced off against Jackson in a fierce duel. Though both were strong, Jake managed to handcuff Jackson instead of killing him, wanting him to face full punishment. Inside the plane, Jenny surrendered as Jake had eliminated all the mercenaries and henchmen. However, she warned that this was just the beginning, because she and her team had prepared an even bigger plan. Shortly after, the FBI arrived and apprehended Jenny. Jake then took Jenny's phone and deleted Emin's threat video before it could spread. And so, the movie concluded. Moral lesson from the story: if you're planning a big scheme, make sure your voice isn't as recognizable as your plan is messy, or else you might end up in a wild goose chase, chasing bombs, and only to find yourself getting caught in your own web of chaos.